What is going on, everybody? Zach RC here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome along to episode number 25 of the F1 Ultimate Career Series for the French Grand Prix. If you guys did miss the last episode, make sure to go check that one out before you see this one. And of course, make sure to get subscribed for more future F1 content as the series continues. So, after a decent fifth round in Baku last time out, we head to France for round 6 of the circuit. Paul Ricard making the first of what can only be 2 more appearances on the calendar from here. But of course, we have got resource points to spend as always, so we'll put those towards some upgrades here. Chassis upgrade on the board here, we'll put that going towards a minor upgrade. And we've got enough for a major air upgrade on the DRS this time around. So we'll go for that, and hopefully that should be in for the next Grand Prix without too much issue. But that takes up almost all our resource points. Only got 63 left in the bank. But there is our upgrades, putting a gap on Mercedes now, and this major upgrade could put us a massive distance in front. There's our results from last time. On the first 5 races, we've gone down the slope, and we'll come back up again. Could we get another win today? Yeah, I'll have to wait and see. But in terms of power unit, MG UK will make the change, but control electronics will keep as it is. We'll try and take one more race, go for that risk, and run it to the end. Verstappen leads the championship still by 15 now. Hamilton after the victory last time out. We've sit in 5th place, having jumped Ricciardo. We're looking to try and catch Bottas and Norris now. And in terms of the rivalry, only a few points back from Bottas, of course, to that podium finish last time out. Bottas off the podium, so he's got a point out of him there. So only 3 back, so we could try and perhaps tie him if things go well today. But advancing time now, and all those upgrades coming through. Our air upgrade, our minor one from last episode has failed. We've got the weekly resources in, so we'll make the change to that. We'll get that fixed before we can continue on, and hopefully have that sorted before the Grand Prix. So we'll make our way down to the menu, then get it fixed, and push back on advancing time. Hopefully our major upgrade comes through without any issue. There we go, all fixed, and our chassis upgrade is through, and 2 days away from our major upgrade, it's failed, and that is not what we wanted to do. We're hoping it'll come out before France, but looks like it'll be there for our home race at Silverstone, so we'll make the change there, get that fixed, and that'll be on the road again for development going towards Silverstone. So with that all being said, nothing more to do in the team hub. Upgrade is back on the board, and our gap on Mercedes is opening up once again. So with the fastest car in the grid, it's now time to head over to France and get this Grand Prix underway. So here we go then, time for qualifying for the French Grand Prix here at Paul Ricard. Before we get out on the track, we've got an early problem with our power unit. I think the quick practice definitely does wear to your power unit, obviously, and it's brought our control electronics up to 76%, so no real issue there. That's still about the same as what the MG UK was to start the last session, but we'll fix that. Spend a bit of time getting that going. We'll get out to the racetrack now for our first flying lap. Of course, the French Grand Prix no longer on the calendar. The last Grand Prix was held back in 2022, so it'll only be available for this and next season of Ultimate Career. So come out turn 15 now and go up towards the main straight to start our first lap. Of course, this is a track I haven't driven a good few games. This could be an awful first run, but we'll see whereabouts we stand with the fastest car in this Red Bull. So going in towards turn 1 here, of course, immediately into turn 2, missing the curb and going wide on corner exit. Not really wanting to lift on corner exit, but making our way through towards the end of the first sector. It's a decent start to the lap, save for that little mistake going through turn 2, wide again for turns 3, and obviously over the curb at turn 4. So not a fantastic start, but it'll take us a couple of laps to get used to it again. Come back down the main straight then to complete our first round, but thankfully, because our car is so fast, we're at P2 here, behind Verstappen, about 7-8 tenths off a minute, actually faster than Lando Norris's first time. So imagine running wide at turn 1 and just carrying our foot on the throttle has helped us massively to that extent. We're pushing on now towards go back to the garage, and we'll accelerate on. In terms of weather for the race, we're looking at a wet Grand Prix here, so we could reuse both sets of soft tyres and then put 3 runs in this qualifying run. So we'll make that change. We'll go on to a second set of soft tyres for this run. We'll go on to a third for our last run if we get enough time. There's 6 minutes left to come through to complete our second lap. We're a couple of tenths up, so we emerge from the last corner. We're 3 tenths up, improving all the while as we kept down the main straight once again, down to P4 here. Norris and Hamilton have both topped us. We're going to the line for P3, and once again back in front of Norris, but Hamilton's still faster than we are. Let's push on now to our last lap, improving on that fresh air soft tyres, but only by about half a tenth or so as I make our way through the sweeping right-hander of turn 11, come towards 12. Yellow flag in front of us, bunch of cars still stopping the way. There's a big roadblock going up towards turn number 12, and Gasly had to go to his inside and narrowly avoiding contact, and that was after we set a purple sector in the second sector, so not at all how we want to end this lap off, but with P3 at best for us as we round turns 14 and 15 to complete this qualifying session, but a very tough end to it, because who knows what we could have done in this last part of the racetrack. So off the last corner and towards the line to complete qualifying, we'll see if we've got enough to confirm third place as we make our way across the finish line. Verstappen looks to be on pole. Can we join him in the top 3?
With qualifying finished, it's time to remind ourselves of our top 3. Verstappen, Hamilton and Cohen. With qualifying wrapped up, we now have our grid lineup for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race.
So Verstappen and pole, then Hamilton second, and we finish in third place in the end, just 12 thousandths over Norris. And honestly, I'm feeling good. The French Grand Prix, I used to be okay at this track back in the day, so I'm hoping that things will go well for us. Could this be our second race victory? You never know. It's time now to get into the race.
Hello and welcome to the Circuit Paul Ricard, current home of the French Grand Prix, an event dating all the way back to 1906. It's been held at many venues over the years, with famous moments from Dijon and Manicourt the feature of many a highlights reel. And let's hope we see more of those in the race today. We have 15 corners here at the Circuit Paul Ricard, 6 to the left and 9 to the right. The rain is coming down and making for a slippery racing surface, but luckily there is plenty of runoff available, and hopefully we'll be able to avoid bringing out a safety car during today's Grand Prix. And with me as usual is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about Cohen. That was a great podium in the last race, so can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
There are never any guarantees in this business, but certainly the performance last time out would have boosted their confidence coming into this one.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he starts from pole position. And it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Cohen, Leclerc, Pierre Gasly and Sainz, Fernando Alonso, Bottas, Norris. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. And Sebastian Vettel, Tsunoda, Stroll, Esteban Ocon and Raikkonen, Russell, Giovinazzi, Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin, Ricciardo and Nicholas Latifi. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head to trackside for today's race.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
So here we go then, no more talking, time for action at the French Grand Prix from third place on the grid behind Verstappen and Hamilton. Bottas and Norris down the grid for this one, so we could take advantage of that championship-wise, but in terms of strategy for the race, a full set of wet tyres to the start, another one going on to the end of them, and then lap 13, and from there, if it gets dry, we could look at the inters towards the end of the race, but it's time to find out, should that be necessary to come on towards the lights for the 6th race of the season, here at the French Grand Prix, waiting from third on the grid. Lights out, foot to the floor. We are underway. It's a slow getaway there in the wet conditions, trying to avoid sliding the car. We do slide it a little bit. There goes Leclerc and Gasly to our right-hand side, going towards Tom Alonso and Sainz there with us as well, going towards that first corner. 3 wide, 2 cars challenging us. Alonso and Bottas into turn 1, through turn 2, around the outside of Sainz and reclaiming P5, but down 2 spots here. Gasly, our next target, on his right, going towards turn number 3, and trying to pull in front of our old AlphaTauri in towards that third corner, and in towards turn 4 now, up in front of the Frenchman, and now chasing Charles Leclerc. Hamilton leads this time over Verstappen, Leclerc third, and we sit in 4th place now. It'll be a bit of work to try and get our way back past him out of turn 7, down this long straight towards turn 8, of course, one of the 2 DRS zones on the circuit. So on corner exit, Leclerc lifts, and we take full advantage of that. Overtake button is on, going down towards turn number 8. Verstappen and Hamilton pulling away in front of us, we're about half a car length behind Leclerc right now, but pulling alongside him, going towards the left-hander into the braking zone, braking a lot earlier to suit the wet conditions on the inside of the Monegasque, and up into 3rd place, back on the podium and back in our starting spot. But crucially, Hamilton jumps Verstappen, a bit of a slide there out of turn number 8 as we make our way through to complete our first lap of this Grand Prix. There's the control electronics box at 79%. Yellow flag behind us on lap number 2 here as we continue to follow Verstappen and Hamilton up through turns 5 and now 6. Not sure what's gone on behind us, but it looks like one of the Ferraris has gone from. It looks like that's Carlos Sainz. He's got some kind of issue this early on. I can't imagine what's so early in this race. He's running there back where we were earlier on in the race, in around P6, P7, as he pulls off the racetrack there. Smoke pouring out the back of that Ferrari. Bottas goes through, Alonso through as well. That's Lando Norris in P10, I believe, if my maths are correct. Sainz on his way through, back to retire the car at the outside of the racetrack. We've got our own problems though. We're trying to challenge our teammate Verstappen for 2nd place in front, going out to turn 7 towards 8, closing in on the Dutchman, going towards the left-hander, going all the way to the left-hand side of the racetrack for the braking. So Hamilton still continues to pull away up front. We're side by side with our teammate now, who of course beats us on race victories 2-1 so far this season. But can we try and get our second one today around the outside of Verstappen and on the inside for the exit at turn 9? So up into P2 now, and starting to get to work on Hamilton. You see Sainz pulled over there at turn 5 out of the Grand Prix, so down to 19 cars in this thing. The rain not showing any signs of letting up, but there's still a chance for later on in the race. On to lap 3 here, and chasing Hamilton. No DRS for the DRS zone, but we've got enough for Toyos to try and make a move on our compatriot, and the Mercedes going for the lead up towards turn number 8. This could be our first time up front in a good few races here. If we can close it enough and try and make a move down the outside for the race lead. We're going way too deep there into turn 8. Hamilton takes full advantage of that. We slow, get back on. Verstappen tries to go around the outside going towards turn 9. Can't quite do it, stays in line. So Hamilton reclaims the lead after we took it from him only briefly. We'll push on now to lap number 6 and again challenging him out of turn 9 this time, going up towards the sweeping right-hander of turn 10. One of the faster corners on the circuit with the confidence in the wet conditions not there early on in this race. Hamilton goes back around the outside for turn 11, maintains the lead. We're trying to find a way around as best we can here on the way through. We continue to follow through this third sector down the inside of our compatriot who squeezes us towards the inside curve. So we'll stay in P2 for now. We're going to struggle down the inside going towards turn 12 now. Contact with tap the side of his front wing and making their way out of turn 12 and towards that 13 now. He's still there inside, gets the better drive off going in towards 14. Hamilton takes the top spot back. We fall back to second place. Verstappen right behind us trying to counter in third. Leclerc and Gasly not our concern right now. Those two are off and away far behind us now. As we come down the main straight to begin lap 7 in this race. The pace is strong on this Red Bull. We're doing a fantastic job so far in taking places off these guys around us. But going towards turn 1 now. We're trying to pull to the outside of the racetrack with fastest lap to boot. So a bonus point coming our way for that. Hamilton narrowly covers us off going towards that first left-hander as we go through the right of turn 2 and making our way off the corner. Better exit than he got and going all the way towards the right side of the racetrack towards turn number 3. Trying to take the lead away from the Mercedes going into the third corner. Can we take it? It's a bit blurry there on the camera. Way too blurry, but we're up into the lead now for the first time today outright on lap number 7 in this Grand Prix. There's still a long way to go. So we're a bit wide there going through towards turn 6. But onto lap 8 here. Still continue to hold the first spot as we make our way through the first sector. Once again, Hamilton still behind us, going way too wide there for the right-hander. Get caught out by the wet, and Hamilton takes full advantage of that, goes scything up the inside, and retakes the race lead for himself as he makes his way through turns 6 and now 7. But a poor exit from Hamilton might maybe take advantage of him going towards turn number 8 battery, but you can give our overtake going towards the left-hander. Verstappen too far back to try and challenge us, going towards the left-hander, closing in all the time. All the slipstream, the pull to the outside of the racetrack, once again going into the left hand. Hamilton breaks way too early compared to us, go a bit too deep. We've managed to maintain the lead just about. We've got completely off the circuit, so we'll maintain the top spot. But Hamilton there on corner exit out of turn 9, bit of a slide there, means he might try and go back alongside us, but use our back to try and stay in front on corner exit. But a good toe to the outside goes Hamilton, and Verstappen might get close enough too. Around the outside goes Hamilton once more on the left in the right hander of turn number 10, and Lewis Hamilton retakes the race lead. What a battle this is. There goes Verstappen up the inside, trying to challenge our teammate going through turn 11. We'll hold him off for now though. Leclerc catches back up, so it's a 4-car race now for P1 as we continue on into the third sector, but it's getting very, very intense between myself, Hamilton and Verstappen at this stage of the Grand Prix. On to lap 10, and once again closing, same situation on Hamilton, going up towards turn number 8, closing all the time here. Going to pull to the inside of the racetrack this time. We've got the outside the last 2 times. This time we'll try the inside, breaking around the same time he does, breaking a bit earlier compared to our previous entries, and now around the outside, looking for the race lead out of turn number 9. Verstappen there behind might try and challenge. We're still side by side. Hamilton jumps in front. Verstappen getting close now. He might go for a move, trying to get 3 wide, going towards turn number 10. We're on the outside. Hamilton's on the inside. It's been very tight indeed. Going through the right hander. Who comes out on top? Out of the corner, Hamilton in the lead, Verstappen second. We wind up in third place after all that, so didn't at all play to our advantage. We were in the lead for just a moment going through turn 9, but unfortunately it wasn't to be this time round. But Verstappen there back in front of us to push down the main straight, going on to lap 11. We'll try to make a move to the outside of our teammate in the other Red Bull, going towards turn 1. Look at the outside of the racetrack for the braking zone. Hamilton 6/10 in front of us, around the outside of Verstappen, and a strategy option being given to us. What is the game plan here on these wet tyres? We're giving the option to change it a lap or 2 later to lap 15, going to our fresh jet. We'll keep on lap 13 for now, but that's a sign perhaps the weather is starting to shift a little bit. The rain getting ever so slightly lighter. You can't notice it too much right now, but could there be a chance intermediate storm? I have to keep a constant eye on our weather report from Jeffy and see what he gives us in terms of information.
Radar suggests that this heavy rain will be with us for a while now. It's hard to say if inters or wets are better right now.
So we're on the crossover now between the inters and the wet tyres, which means that it'll be a real game of who comes out on what tyre that could decide who wins this race. We'll continue challenging Hamilton for now, going through turns 8 and 9. But once again, Lewis stays in front. So we continue on onto lap 13, the lap we're going to be pitting on. This is our in lap, but I'm still not sure in terms of these wet tyres, because we don't want to come in at this point and then the inters are in better shape a lap or two later. And of course, that is a first pit stop we throw away and potentially even more points than they've already cost us this season. So we'll stay out for the minute and do what Hamilton does. If he stays out, we'll stay out. We make our way through turns 14 and 15. Hamilton stays on the racetrack. So I think now the game plan for everyone is, I think we all know the Inters will likely be the tyre to go onto in a lap or two. But if those tyres aren't to play yet, then of course they'll stay as we are, because we don't have to pit at this point because it is a wet race. There's no guarantee we've got to change onto another set of tyres. We'll continue challenging Hamilton here on lap 16, going towards turn 3, right the way to the inside of the racetrack, looking for the top spot once again. Verstappen's dropped back a little bit in this fight, and there is smoke coming from our Red Bull here, and it's the same case it was in Baku as we make our way through turns 4 and 5. But again, this is F1 2021, as we reclaim the lead, we're able to keep on going and leading this race despite smoke pouring out the back of our power unit here. That control electronics box is suffering at this point in the Grand Prix. I'm trying not to focus on it too much because I don't want to look at it and get distracted, but we'll make our way through here. This time we're in the lead, and we'll go back on the radio to Jeff here in terms of the weather.
Heavy rain will be staying with us for a while now, at least a 20-minute window of heavy rain. It's hard to say if Inters or wets are better right now.
Make our way onto lap 17, and the change still the same, and we're still in these wet tyres to make our way through up towards turn 8. Once again, we're about a second lead over Hamilton right now. Verstappen, second and a half back.
Strategy is available on the MFD.
Moment of truth then, what is the call from the pit wall? It is intermediates going on the race car, so that'll be an easy stop. This lap coming in from the race leaders to make our way through out of turn 9 and looking for the pit lane at the end of this lap. And this will be the only pit stop of the race here, so it's crucial we emerge out in front of the cars behind us. Verstappen will likely have to double stack here. He's coming in behind us, so Verstappen's going to lose place to this thing. This could give advantage to Hamilton championship-wise, having to close that gap down. But in we come now for our first and only pit stop of this Grand Prix onto the intermediate tyres. Hopefully we won't get held up too much by the cars pitting around us. No chance of that. Making our way out, 2.5 second stop, and emerging in front of Lewis once again. Verstappen may fall out of off podium potentially, and Leclerc or Gasly could take third place. Bottas stays out, so we'll continue on those tyres for one more lap, I imagine. Then he'll come in and we'll retake the lead. But from there, it's going to be a case from now just managing the race car and keeping things under control in terms of that control electronics box, and make sure the power unit doesn't burn out at this point in the Grand Prix. So they're going back on the racetrack and back towards turn 1, on to the end of lap 18, start lap 19. Bottas in the pit lane then, and we will reclaim the race lead once again. And from now, it's a case of just maintaining our advantage. Hamilton's about a second and a half back from us at this part of the Grand Prix. I'm not too sure in terms of power units. We're going to make our way onto lap 20 here and pushing on 89% on the control electronics. That could be a big concern here as we make our way through. I'm not sure how long that thing will last for. It has no choice and just blows up, or obviously there's a significant pace loss. But for now, let's just continue as we are, looking for our second win of the season and hoping that the power unit survives the last 7 laps or so as we continue on. The smoke pouring in the back of our Red Bull here, and Hamilton not too far behind. So if pace drops off, he's right there to try and take advantage. So that could be clinical for Red Bull to make our way out of turn number 12. Big slide there is to make our way off the corner, but maintaining the car, keeping it under control and keeping it within the race. Most importantly, Hamilton is right there, putting us under constant pressure despite not being right on our gearbox. Is to make our way through onto lap 25 here, continuing on. Look at the power unit now, 92%. It's getting worse and worse. It's going up about at least about a couple percent per lap. It's not a nice thing to want to see. But if it goes to 99, I fear it could be game over for us, but I don't think it will reach at that point. Make our way onto the last lap here, going through turn 11 for the final time. We've got one more sector to navigate here, and it's been a rough road back towards the top step of the podium here. So since our first win in Bahrain, we finished almost at the points in Imola, retired in Portugal, a poor race in Monaco. Things start to look up last time out in Azerbaijan, and we're now just 2 corners away from our second victory, getting ourselves back on the podium on the top step at last into turn 15 for the final time. Hamilton pushing us all the way. This smoke is still going out of our Red Bull. We'll be a smoke show as we come towards the finish line here to cap off our second win of the campaign over the line for Red Bull and breaking our front wing a bit of the line there. But the race is over, and that is our race victory. We win the French Grand Prix. A very enjoyable race in the wet conditions. Our first fully wet race on the F1 Ultimate Career Series. Thoroughly enjoyable. Hope we get more like that. Ricardo driver of the day, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter to us because we are the winners and we will close in on that championship lead.
A great race then, and a fantastic victory here at Paul Ricard. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sport that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win.
So we take victory then in France. Hamilton, a valiant drive, but second place for him in the end. And Verstappen finishes in third. So more good points for Red Bull. Outscore Mercedes once again, thanks to Bottas' struggles. And with Bottas and Norris struggling, let's see in terms of points if we can catch up or even pass those guys in the standings.
That lead at the top of the table has shrunk somewhat today. Now, let's discuss, Ants. Who would you say is a contender for driver of the day?
Daniel Ricciardo certainly impressed me today. An incredible performance.
Let's move on to the constructors. Red Bull pull further ahead in the standings. Meanwhile, Alpine move up the table with another strong performance this weekend. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action. I can't wait to see what's next.
So off the podium then, Leclerc finishes in 4th place, Bottas 5th, Gasly 6th, Alonso 7th, Tsunoda 8th, Norris in 9th. That grid penalty did not help him at all in the end, and Vettel nabs the last point. Ricciardo came up from 19th to finish 11th. He was very close to points today, so fair play to him getting driver of the day. But in terms of the standings, to see if that makes any change to the 25 points and going on to the standings, to actually jump both Bottas and Norris today, so into P3 in the championship. Still 33 points back, so a long way to go to claw back the gap to the leaders, Verstappen and Hamilton. Verstappen leading by 13 points now, but things are looking up here. With 10 races to close in, so plenty of time to do that. In terms of constructors then, Red Bull increased their lead, 17 points now to Mercedes, McLaren 3rd, Ferrari 4th, AlphaTauri 5th, then it's Alpine passing Aston Martin, Alfa Romeo in 8th, and Williams and Haas still scoreless. But guys, that'll do it for this episode of the F1 Ultimate Career Series. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, make sure to like, share and subscribe for more future F1 content. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Goodbye.